who, as you all know, maintains this living museum for us to work and play in. We also have the wonderful help of Mary Admasian, who does all our promos. So many of you who are reading it on listserv or the Front Porch Forum here, thanks to Mary and her beautiful poster. It is just really a total joy to take a break from our busy world in the legislature to switch gears and pivot to music. So this is great. And next week, we urge you to come back. Next week, we have the Vermont Youth Orchestra, who will be here, and they are a real treat. They are going to be, they present fairly eclectic but unforgettable chamber music. And next week will be no exception. The Vermont Youth Orchestra Flute Choir will play Vivaldi's Spring, which after slogging through the snow today, we're all going to need. And the fiddle tune and the fiddle tune Ashokan Farewell, and the Vermont Youth Orchestra Brass Quintet will play Shakira and Shostakovich, and their string squad will play dances from Spain and Panama, and then all will join in playing a piece by New England's composer Charles Ives. So I urge you to come back next week. It should be terrific. And to introduce tonight's incredible concert is the divine executive director, Elise Burnell. Here is Elise.
It's a treat to have Allison on the board of directors of the VSO. She's a feisty one and keeps us in order. I wish you could all see the view that I have, looking out at all the people who brave through the winter to come and join us here. It's our 91st season as Vermont State's Orchestra. And have this concert in which the musicians that are playing tonight volunteer their services. We have a volunteer chorus with us tonight. We have a wonderful premiere from a music comm student. Our music director, Andrew Crust, will go through the artistic program with you. It's just going to be wonderful. If you've been here before, you know what you're in for. I wanted to thank the David M. Wilson Memorial Fund, which sponsors this concert, as well as the Robert Ducormier Fund, which supports our chorus. And I also wanted to thank musician hosts. Are there hosts out here who are opening up their homes to our musicians? Thank you so much. If you ever had a dream of hosting a musician, trust me, they're great, well-behaved, wonderful people. We would love to hear from you, so please do reach out for us if your home is open for that. Just a couple more things coming up. We will have a concert on Saturday at the Flynn, Love Notes, with a fabulous violinist, Jenny Coe, music by Frank Zappa, by Bize, and by Philip Glass and Augusta Holmes. We also have Disney in concert. That'll be in Rutland and in Burlington the week of March. And the last one, we're going to be close here in Barrie on April 19th with our Jukebox String Quartet. So we'd love to see you there. Without further ado, I'm going to welcome our music director, Andrew Crust, the VSO Orchestra and Chorus. Thank you.
VSO Music Director. I promise we're going to get to the music in a moment. I just want to say I love Farmers Night. This is such a wonderful program. This is my third season on the job here, I think, and there's nothing like this anywhere around the country. I think it's amazing that lawmakers are engaging with the arts. I think they should always engage with the arts, and I think I'm going to that we artists have something to offer to lawmakers, and we need to engage with lawmakers because sometimes we're busy being artists, we don't know what's going on at all. So this is really a wonderful occasion, and to see all of you here in the round. This program is a bit of a hodgepodge, I must admit. You might wonder, what is the link here? There's not too much of a link other than there are a lot of anniversaries that we're celebrating, and I'll get to those. Birth anniversaries, death anniversaries, and then a couple other Vermont-specific things. I want to reiterate, Elise said it, but it bears repeating. All these musicians, our chorus is always volunteer, and we appreciate them for that, regardless of the concert. Our orchestra is not volunteer, so the fact that they are giving music to you as a gift today, I think deserves another round of applause. Before we get to the music that we're about to hear, do we have any 8-year-olds in the house? Is there anyone who's 8 years old? Not 80. No 8-year-olds. Okay, 7-year-olds or 6-year-olds? Close? Okay, the reason I mention this is, over here, you 7? Okay. This next music you're going to hear, now this is not to make you feel bad, but it was written by an 8-year-old. Pretty amazing. Happened to be a rather famous person, not when he was 8. I'm talking about Mozart, of course. He was a child prodigy, and we're going to play one movement from his very, very first symphony that he wrote when he was 8 years old. Amazing. It's okay, you can still play Roblox. You don't need to write symphonies just yet. And then we'll move on to a little bit of music from Eric Satie. And Eric Satie was died 100 years ago. So we're going to be playing 2 of his J'aime nos PD, which I think you will recognize. Again, thank you for being here. Wonderful to have you. Here's a bit of Mozart. so very much. Now, I did promise some Vermont things. That was very not Vermont, that was very Parisian. But we're gonna move now to some music inspired by a little-known poet called Robert Frost. Now, we're gonna play for you and sing for you 6 movements out of a suite called Frostiana by a composer named Randall Thompson. And this poetry was so important to me as a high schooler, actually growing up in Kansas City, especially The Road Not Taken, which is the very first poem that we're going to sing for you. I think it's great poetry for a high schooler to contemplate, right? What shall I make of my life? What direction shall I take? And I think I took The Road Not Taken, as we all did here as artists and musicians, and it has made a bit of a difference, I think. And this is just really wonderful music, wonderfully written for chorus. And little did I know at that time that I would be standing here in the state where he made so much of his art. So we're going to do 3 movements from this piece now for you, and then another 3 a little bit later on. And let's hear it for our chorus. Welcome. so very much. If you could hear the text there, that entire song was about a thrush. Why is a thrush important to Vermont? Anyone know?
It's a state bird.
State bird. Everyone here knows that. Absolutely, it is the state bird, and we'll hear a bit more of this music later. But this is old music. It's time for something brand new, and we are always excited to have this collaboration as we do with Music Comp, which is a program that trains young composers, usually in middle school or high school, trains the next composers who will take over, take the torch into the next generation. And I'm really thrilled to introduce our next composer now, who's going to say a few words. He's 17 years old. He goes to Burlington High School right there in town. Please help me welcome Louis Napolitan.
Would dance to in a haunted forest. This is a rearrangement of a piece I wrote as part of Music Comp's Opus 38 mentorship program. And I'd like to extend my utmost gratitude to Music Comp and its executive director, Stephanie Wiggins, for presenting me with this incredible opportunity. I also want to thank Kyle Song-Yang, who mentored me through composing this piece, as well as through many other of my musical escapades. And finally, I would like to thank the Vermont Symphony Orchestra and its incredible musicians who will be playing this piece tonight. Thank you all, and I hope you enjoy.
you so very much for the warm reception. Amazing. We're so thrilled to be able to create these bridges, and thank you again to Music Comp for making this happen. I'm going to hand over the proverbial baton, even though I don't have one right now, to our wonderful chorus conductor, Jose Daniel Flores Caraballo, who's going to introduce and conduct the next piece of music. Please help me welcome him.
In 2017, composer Dina Witkowski was asked to compose a collection of songs for social justice. She did this as part of a project called the Justice Choir. And as soon as she was asked to do that, she started putting words together, such as love, purpose, voice, compassion, truth, bridge, justice, kindness, hope, and faith. And then she thought there needs to be a call to action, so she started to think of verbs. Verbs such as dream, stand, fight, cry, walk, join, speak. I am sure that the message of this song resonates with everyone in this hall today, which is why we printed in your program the text of We Walk in Love. We're going to ask you to join us on the last verse. Now notice the melody is not written, but you hear the melody in the sopranos. And the chorus is going to sing in unison to help you join on that last verse. If you still don't get the melody, just make your own. But please sing with all your heart as we all walk in love. Chorus.
Great singing, by the way. I think you're all invited to be in the chorus now, if you like. And we'll see you at rehearsal. We're going to go back now to the world of Robert Frost. As I said, we would. And one of these poems was actually written in Vermont. And this was a poem I actually had to memorize in high school, as many did, I think. Of course, I'm talking about Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. It's written right there in southern Vermont. And then after that, we will have a piece of music which was arranged by our very own VSO staff member, Matt LaRocca, who does a lot of orchestrating and arranging for us. And this is a piece originally by Pete Sutherland. Anyone familiar with the name Pete Sutherland? Yes. So I'm new to the state, but I have heard so much about his legacy as a folk musician, a collector of music, a collaborator, and this was a chance to celebrate one of our homegrown sounds. And he was known, of course, as a fiddle player as well. So Matt has arranged a fiddle tune of his called Bow It Down. I think it's not Bow It Down, it has to be Bow It Down, right? Okay, we have bows up here. So first, a little bit more of Robert Frost, 3 movements, and then a little bit of Pete Sutherland. Thank you. Keith Sutherland. Now, we have 2 more pieces for you on this concert. I hope you've had a wonderful time so far. We're going to play for you now a piece which you might not have expected on Farmer's Night, Maurice Ravel's Bolero. What does that have to do with anything? Well, it's another big anniversary. So I mentioned it was Satie's, Eric Satie's 100th death year. Maybe a little more exciting to celebrate someone's birth year. So this is the 150th year of Ravel's birth. So we decided we'd play a little reduced version of the Bolero. Typically, of course, it calls for the full symphony orchestra with saxophones and all kinds of instruments, but we've got a beautiful little arrangement for you, and then we have one more piece afterwards. This is a slightly small version of Bolero by Ravel. Thank you. Thank you so, so very much. You've been a wonderful audience. It's just so great to have all of you in the round. I had to wash the back of my head today. It's just been really an honor to have all of you here. And we're going to leave you with a nice message, a song that we all know. Actually, two songs, one that we may not know, and then, of course, America the Beautiful. And we are moving into America 250, aren't we? America is having its birthday coming up soon. And I think this song, like so many songs, has a lot of great messages for us in this time of great division. I think, we all have a lot in common, don't we? We love the land that we live on, the Purple Mountains Majesty, or the Green Mountains, I think are okay as well. And this line that I really like from this song is, we crown our good in brotherhood. Yeah, brotherhood, sisterhood, personhood, whatever it may be. I think it's great to remember that we all share so much in common. And that's what I So as we are here in this hall of governments, we're going to leave you with a very patriotic song with warm feelings in our hearts for all of you here. Thank you very much once again. And I want to thank again our musicians for volunteering, the chorus and the symphony. Thank you.